everybody, and welcome to In Hindsight. This is the show where I basically just look back at a classic treat that I've already reviewed and sort of re-review it. But I don't really change my reviews on candycritic.org, but I do sometimes add these videos to the bottom just to sort of see, sometimes the treats actually improve or they change, or sometimes I just have a different opinion of them because maybe I've eaten a bunch of other treats or new things that I haven't tried before, and it sort of changes my taste. Palates do change. I think, while I try and stay consistent on this site, I will say that I think my taste in candy has changed since I wrote my first review. Although some of my early reviews, I think, still spot on. Today, I'm reviewing the Twix bar. This is a 4-pack of Twix. So it doesn't, but I don't find that it really matters. In some candy bars, they actually make a bigger version of it. The Twix, they do a 4-pack, which is just basically like 4 fingers instead of 2. So it sort of remains the same. Just because they're not connected, they're their own individual thing. It's like buying a roll of Oreos or as opposed to a box of Oreo cookies. Like the cookies are really pretty much the same at that point, unless the roll has been bashed up or something like that. Doesn't matter. So I'm taking a look at the Twix. I read my past review. The one thing I complained about was the quality of the chocolate. I said it just could have been better. And I probably agree with that with most candy bars in North America in particular. England, not so much, but North America, the United States, definitely. I find that the quality of chocolate just isn't quite there in a lot of things. There are some good chocolates out there, don't get me wrong. I've done a list in the past of the best milk chocolate bars, and there's some American, there's at least one American in there for sure. So, but yeah, I sort of said that it's a really good bar. The balance of cookie to caramel to chocolate is great, but just the chocolate could be better. The one thing I'll say about Twix is it's actually kind of one of my go-to bars. So I've said this before, I have this expression where people are like, how do you eat so much candy and stuff like that? And I say, well, I never eat the same thing twice. And then I've also said many times that, in fact, that's not really true. I don't tend to eat the same thing twice, but there are a few treats out there that I love and that I sort of go to again and again and again. And the Twix bar is one of them. So if I'm just, in the mood for a bar, I don't want to review it. Hence the reason why I even have this bar is because I basically just wanted a Twix bar. I wasn't thinking about actually doing this video. I just thought, I keep one in my candy stash if I have access, just to have, because it's sort of a makes me happy bar, and I know I don't have to review it because I've already reviewed it on Candy Critic. So,
when a young girl is given awesome powers, but she can only use them for a short time before she has to recharge. Watch as she uses these extraordinary powers to save the city from all kinds of monsters. Pick up the latest issue of Blue Orchid right now. Available on Amazon or at bewarethecheese.com/Blue Orchid.
But yeah, so it's I got a bit of a bias towards it. So I've got my finger of Twix right here. The one thing I'll mention about Twix that I didn't mention in the review, and it happened with this, this one bar managed to escape well, but since the caramel is on the top, here I've got a picture of a bite in it. Since the caramel is on the top, if the package gets crushed at all, the caramel shoots out and then goes down the side of the bar, and then the bar sticks to it. So it's a bit of a fragile thing. So they haven't mastered the packaging of Twix bars yet, but it's pretty good, but not perfect. And so that can be sometimes a little problematic. But it's been a little while. I'd say it's been more than a year, maybe even 2, since I've had a Twix bar. So let's, The chocolate has sort of a hot chocolate flavor to it. I guess it's because it blends with the cookie. Now I'm going to go out on a limb here. It feels like there's less chocolate in it than usual. It's not that drastic, but if I was to like to nitpick, maybe there's less chocolate. I don't know. But it's still a great bar. It's still my go-to. An interesting fact too is like Twix is part of the reason why a lot of laws about candy are difficult to enforce. So there's a lot of United States and in Europe, there's been a lot of this idea of banning candy in certain parts of grocery stores or even in grocery stores in general and having them only in specific kinds of stores. And the Twix bar is one of the problems because if you ban candy, Twix is almost a cookie. and can almost, if you think about it, there are cookies that are exactly the same as a Twix bar. And so then it sort of blurs the definition between what's candy and then what's a cookie. And even though, cookies are also unhealthy, but grocery stores are not going to stop selling cookies. So then, since Twix is sort of just so much on the line, it's actually created a bit of a legal issue. It's one of the bars that's sort of like, well, if you're going to ban candy, then you have to ban Twix, and then you have to ban cookies. And then, cookie sales at grocery stores are obviously worth a lot of money. There's a whole aisle for them. So it's an interesting debate though. But yeah, the Twix bar, it still holds up. It's still one of my favorites. I feel like the fingers are getting smaller, but I think I'm just getting bigger. I kind of wish I was a kid again where one finger of Twix could totally satisfy me, but I'm grown up now. What can I do? But there's my episode of Hindsight. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can go to candycritic.org to find links to everything from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. You can also read well over 1,000 candy reviews, with new ones coming all the time. Candycritic.org also has links to pick up my latest books, as well as some cool candy-themed merchandise.